Hi everyone, welcome to Dinesh Tech Bytes Developer Tip Series. Today we are going to see about Windows Dev Machine setup. What are the tips, how to make it more productive with Windows system. Let's get started. Yeah, let's start with the first one, which is Clipboard History. So it comes with default in Windows. If I search for the clipboard settings in my Windows machine, I have turned it on. Once we have turned it on, if I do Window V, you will be able to see the history of copies that I have made. So currently I have nothing. I'll quickly show you how this is very useful. Let me go to the VS Code. Now if you see, let's say I want to open one URL. I have to copy first the URL, then go to the browser, paste it, then open the particular website, then copy the username from here, go there, paste it, come back here, again copy the password, go there, paste it. It's like I have to switch between apps multiple times. So instead of that, right, I can do copy this URL, copy this username, copy this password, right? Go to your wherever you want to do, right? If I do Window V, I'll be having the list of things I copied. So I paste the URL. Once the website is open, paste the username, paste the password. So this is very useful when you copy multiple things and paste and you play around with it. This history definitely will make more productive. Moving on to the next one, which is AutoHotKey. So this is an open source tool that is available in the GitHub. So it is pretty famous. This is the tool AutoHotKey. It's kind of an scripting utility for Windows. If I quickly show you one example, if I press Windows plus N, it will be opening the notepad. So instead of I go every time onto the Windows and search for notepad and opening, if I simply press Windows N, it will be opening the notepad. I'll quickly show you my configuration. So first I'm saying my caps lock is always in off state. So I will never use my caps lock to type words in uppercase. I'll use shift plus the letters. So caps lock is kind of an use plus key in my keyboard. So I'm making caps lock as an off, and I'm going to use caps lock within additional features. For example, if you see here, I'm saying caps lock plus H equal to left arrow, caps lock plus L equal to right arrow. So which means without even me taking my fingers from the home row, I'll be able to navigate. Like I don't have to come to the right corner to go to the arrows. So this is like the Vim shortcuts on our home rows. So in this case, I'm using caps lock as my hyperkey, and I'm saying like if I say caps lock plus R, reload this config. Caps lock plus B, if I have an Edge browser already opened, bring that Edge browser to the top. I mean, activate it. If it is not there, run the Edge browser for me. C for VS Code, like T for Teams. Now, if I see I'm pressing caps lock plus C, it is going to the VS Code. I did Alt tab to switch. Now, if I want to go to the browser, I'll be doing caps lock plus B. It is going to the browser. So I can open Outlook, Teams. Let's say you want to do with your terminal, you can do caps lock plus space, which will toggle the terminal. So in this case, let's say as a developer, we will switch between the browsers and the terminal very frequently. So in this case, I'll be like caps lock plus spacebar. It will go to the terminal. I'll run some commands, come back to the, if I want to hide it, right, it will hide whatever app it was before. So it'll go to the browser. Let's say I'm in the VS Code. Now I press caps lock plus spacebar. It is going to the terminal. Again, if I do, it will toggle. So which means it will go back to the previously opened one, which is VS Code in this case. So I can code it, come here, edit commands, go code it, come. Okay. So it's very useful. The caps lock plus spacebar, which toggles my terminal. Yeah. So you can have additional features. This is in my public GitHub files and hotkeys.auto-hotkey. You can refer this. There are like few more shortcuts I'm using. You can refer it. One small shortcut, like let's say you want to type BTWS. By the way, I'll quickly show you one sample. Let me go to my VS Code. Let me say I search BTW. It will change. Need to drop off. It will change. So this is like some very small thing, but still it might save time for frequently used shortcuts. And if you want to expand, this is very helpful, the AutoHotkey. On to the next one, the Windows Terminal. Again, this is an open source tool from Microsoft. It's pretty famous compared to the old PowerShell terminal. Let me go to this terminal. This is the Windows terminal. You can have PowerShell, you can have command prompt, you can have the Ubuntu CLI on top of it. So this is very easy tool to manage compared to the previous tools. The Windows terminal, multiple windows, you can keep it open, multiple tabs. Yeah. Moving on to the next tool, WSL. It's a Windows subsystem for Linux. I'll quickly show you the document. Yeah. So this one, so previously we had, if you want to have Linux on top of Windows, we need to have a traditional virtual machine or dual boot up setup to have both Linux and Windows on a single hardware, right? So this solves this Windows subsystem for Linux. Let me show you an example. Let me go to my PowerShell. If you see here, I am in my PowerShell. Let me do WSL -- list. It will list the list of Linux installed machines available. You can have multiple. I'm having only one machine, which is Ubuntu. Let's say I want to go into that machine. I will do WSL because it is only one. You can jump. If there are multiple, you may have to specify the name in which machine you want to jump into. Now I am into my Linux. Now if you say uname, it's a Linux machine. It's pretty fast. You can have like all your Linux features you can use using this WSL. It's also pretty stable, and it definitely makes you more productive with the terminal, the Linux terminal. Moving on to the next one, PowerToys. It's again an open source tool by Windows. It is again to do some productivity by running some key maps, mouse tips. Let me quickly show you one example. Let me go to the tool. So if you see, I press Alt spacebar, it comes this spotlight, like the Mac, like spotlight. You can search for some app, you can do some math, you can do a lot more. Like you can, if you see what has to do, calculate is on, folder search is on, history. So you can enable and disable, and you can configure it as per your need, this spotlight. Moving on to the next thing, it has some mouse utility also. Let's say you want to highlight and show it. I press Control twice, it will go like, okay, I can use this for this demo. It's done. Now, let's say I want to show you what and all I'm pressing. To enable it, it's like yeah, it is like Window Shift H. So Window Shift H. Once it is enabled, wherever I click, there will be an highlight happen like this yellow. I mean the orange one. You can change it how much big you want, how much small you want. Once that is done, it will change it accordingly. Yeah, these things is very useful when you're doing a demo. Like this is how you are clicking and changing like that. You can. So with respect to keyboard manager, you can create your own shortcuts. For example, let's say for me, I say, let me create a new shortcut. I say Control N should be Control V, for example, which means like all the control N's that I enter in my keyboard will become Control V. When you have this AutoHotKey, this remap may not be helpful, but if you want very simple key maps without AutoHotKey, you can use this remaps from here. Yeah, yeah, it has a few more features that you can use it. There is one more thing called always on top. Let's say you are a person who always want to deal with some calculator things. So let's say I move to my browser, it will go off. I have to come back. Let's say I go to my VS Code, it will go off. So which means I want to keep my calculator always on top. For that one, the activation is like window Control T. So I go to calculator and press Control Shift T. Yeah, if you see, you'll be getting a blue border around the calculator. So which, even if you switch apps like from VS Code to browser, it will be always on the top. Again, this will be useful for a few people. Like you can keep small terminal, or you can keep small calculator, small VS Code, something you can keep it, sticky notes. You can keep it, and this will be helpful for you to for your productivity. Yeah, last quick thing is like some features of like Edge workspace plus tab grouping. If you see here, like I can have multiple tabs, and each tab will have like multiple groups. Under WSL, I have two under HK I have 3, and this is for the Dinesh Tech Bytes session. If I want to switch from this context to some other context, I can go to another workspace for my work, another workspace for my CKS preparation and telemetry and something else. Hope you learned something from this video. If you learned something from this video, please like it. If you're using some other shortcut that helps your productivity for the Windows system, please comment it so that we all can learn from you. Thanks.